Yeah, guys, the suspect, he made his way up this escalator, and it was here on the second floor where he attacked that airport police officer. In fact, you guys see this tape here? This is where they replaced the old carpeting that was covered in blood. Yeah, guys, good news. That officer is expected to be okay. The man he shot is still alive tonight. I want to have you take a look behind me. This is the house where this all happened. You can see the officer standing over those evidence markers. Likely bullet casings. That toddler was in stable condition at a local hospital after being hit by an SUV. Some good news considering the severity of what happened here. That 37-year-old construction worker is alive after being trapped in a collapsed trench 15 feet underground for 2 hours. I want to have you guys take a look behind me.
All right, thanks for that live report, Randy.
In fact, look, guys, if we do have a moment, we got the captain of Engine 3 from the Warren Fire Department. Sir, your name?
Captain Lastcheck from the Warren Fire Department.
What made you think that was okay?
It was out of anger.
Does that make it okay? Do you regret what you said? The Pleasant Valley Bridge over 96 will be closed indefinitely as MDOT works to repair the damage. And to give you an idea of just how extensive it is, take a look at this. This is supposed to be level, but there's about a 2-inch difference between these two sections of the bridge. MDOT says it will remove the deck within 24 hours, and that is going to make a mess of traffic on 96. Tonight, I was interacting with real people with real guns that shoot real bullets.
Is it vigilante justice or just the careless use of a weapon? Fox 2's Randy Wimbley joining us now live with a closer look at the rights of CPL holders. Randy.
Hey guys, what do you do if you go home from work tonight and confront a guy that broke into your house? Or it's late at night, you hear someone breaking into your car, you go outside or into your garage, and that person tries to attack you. Well, experts say in those situations, they're no-brainers. In both cases, you have the right to shoot, and in other situations, it should be crystal clear that you cannot.
Woke up this morning, yeah, you got yourself a gun. You got yourself a gun.
And a little common sense to go with it.
There could have been some 4-year-old child coming out of Home Depot with their grandparents.
Some firearm experts say a woman in Auburn Hills may have lacked it when she opened fire in a Home Depot parking lot, shooting a shoplifting suspect's getaway vehicle.
Can't shoot at moving cars. You can't shoot at people retreating. You can't do that.
Tanisha Moner is a certified CPL instructor. We asked her when gun owners have the legal right to shoot someone. If I see him running out of my house with my flat screen TV, what do I do?
I hope you have insurance on your flat screen TV.
But I've got my gun.
You call the police.
But I've got my gun.
He's left your house.
Tanisha says you can only shoot someone when you are defending yourself or someone else from the threat of great bodily harm, rape, or death. But if someone put a pistol to your pooch's head, don't play Rambo and try to rescue Rover.
Your pet is considered personal property. Your pet is considered personal property. You cannot shoot a person for attacking your dog.
There have been a few instances recently where guns have been used to stop criminals, from a CPL holder shooting a bank robber to a carjacking victim unloading on a suspect that appears to be retreating.
That's a sticky one. I mean, if he's put the car in reverse, if you're still in a line of where he could put the car in drive and possibly and potentially run you over, then you got area there and you may be justified in shooting someone.
And if this is sticky, what happened here is Teflon.
What should have took place there, she should have maybe noted the description of the individual, noted the description of the vehicle, noted the method of escape, but to take a shot at him, I don't see that happening.
Darryl Brown is a retired deputy chief from the Detroit Police Department. Does this woman get arrested?
She should get arrested because, one, she didn't have to be shooting at somebody for a misdemeanor. That's definitely, even officers, we can only shoot at fleeing felons in accident circumstances.
Now, the woman in the Auburn Hills shooting is cooperating with police. She has not been arrested. They released her pending the investigation. Now, as for the shoplifter and his getaway driver, both are on the lam. So if you happen to spot a small black SUV with a damaged rear tire in or around Auburn Hills, you may want to give police a call.
Andy, the truth is America's obsessed with guns right now. We all shake our heads at the massacre in Oregon, but we also understand the need for self-defense at times. Are gun advocates embarrassed by what that woman did at the Home Depot today?
Yeah, based on what I've seen online and heard talking with people today, yes, they feel their Second Amendment right is under attack, and situations like the one in Auburn Hills gives the opposition plenty of ammo, pun intended.
Fox News' Randy Wimbley joins us live with more on what led to this life-threatening encounter. Randy.
Yeah, guys, seemingly fear. This young man says he overslept and missed the bus, so he tried to walk the bus route to school but got lost. He didn't have his phone with him, so he knocked on someone's door for directions and almost paid for it with his life.
I'm kind of happy that I didn't become like a statistic.
14-year-old Brendan Walker is fortunate to be alive. He was almost gunned down Thursday morning asking for directions to Rochester High School. It happened right outside of this house on South Christian Hills in Rochester Hills.
Got to the house and I knocked on the lady's door. Then she started yelling at me and she was like, "Why are you trying to break into my house?" And I was trying to explain to her that I was trying to get directions to Rochester High. And she kept yelling at me. The guy came downstairs, and then he grabbed the gun, and I saw it, and then I started to run, and then that's when I heard the gunshot.
Thankfully, he missed. Brennan kept running, hid, then cried. Oakland County Sheriff deputies arrived soon after and took the woman's husband into custody. Your son almost became a hashtag.
Almost became, exactly, and that's exactly how I feel, like, wow, because you were trying to get to school. I found out later that the only reason he missed is because he forgot to take the safety off.
The family's Ring doorbell recorded that near-deadly encounter. Investigators showed Brennan and his mom, Lisa, the video. It confirmed their suspicions.
One of the things that stands out that probably angers me the most is while I was watching the tape, you could hear the wife say, "Why did these people choose my house?" Who are these people? And that set me off. Because I didn't want to believe it was what it appeared to look like. And then when I heard her say that, it was like, oh, but it is.
These people are offended by that comment. These people don't want people that think that way living in our community.
Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard.
I mean, it's just absurd that this happened. And I feel terrible for the young man, feel terrible for the mom and the anxiety that they had to go through. And we're going to ask for every charge permissible for this guy who stepped out and fired a shotgun because somebody knocked on his door.
And right now, that man is being held here at the Oakland County Jail. He will likely be arraigned late tomorrow. Huel, Taryn. Hey guys, still a strong police presence outside of Little Caesars Arena, but there were no arrests or incidents during a tense night of protest and counter-protest.
We have come today to send a message to Little Caesars. We have come today to send a message to Kid Rock. That's right. We will not be disrespected.
Roughly 500 people marched on Little Caesars Arena in downtown Detroit Tuesday. The National Action Network led the demonstration against Kid Rock, still livid over his flying the Confederate flag at shows for roughly a decade, condemning Colin Kaepernick's peaceful protest against police brutality, and simply for the fact the Ilitches chose him to christen the new hockey arena.
We want to make sure they understand that police brutality in America is real, racial profiling in America is real, and taking our tax dollars to hire someone who promotes hate needs to stop.
This flag has been around for decades.
The Confederate flag?
Yes. Okay. Decades and decades and decades. It has nothing to do with, anti-white or whatever.
Kid Rock fans met the demonstrators with jeers. Biker gangs staged a counter-protest, riding up the opposite side of Woodward, revving their engines, trying to drown out demonstrators. Despite the palpable tension, the demonstration was peaceful.
This group out here, much kudos to them for maintaining their professionalism, maintaining a relationship with the police department, allowing traffic to continue, and keeping their emotions under control.
But after the initial demonstration ended, a group of roughly 100 younger protesters unaffiliated with the National Action Network went back to the new arena, some shouting shame at concert goers and hecklers. Police kept a strong presence outside the arena, making efforts to contain both the younger protesters and the bikers who were cordoned off a few blocks away. But thanks to DPD, the two never really met. They never confronted one another. No violence, no incidents, and no arrests tonight. Yul, Taryn? It's not about how much water people here in Fraser and surrounding communities drink, but rather how much goes down their drains. And the answer to that question could determine if raw sewage ends up in the Clinton River in Lake St. Clair. From doing the dishes to doing the laundry, Rosemary and Dave Wilson from Sterling Heights are conserving water to help prevent an environmental hazard. This is what the sinkhole-damaged sewer line looked like January 16th. This is what it looks like now.
Wow.
Wow.
What a difference. That's terrible. I wish everyone would take a look at that and realize, hey, I'm going to do my part to cut back on the water usage, because that looks really bad.
Macomb County Public Works is urging roughly 500,000 people to shorten their showers, only flush solids in the toilet, and turn off water while brushing their teeth to lessen the amount of water going down their drains. Silt seeped into this 11-foot pipe and practically plugged it.
It's a dire situation. We have, at this time, no room or no margin for error.
If it's overwhelmed, Macomb County will have to divert raw sewage to the Clinton River and consequently Lake St. Clair to keep it from backing up into homes and businesses.
We want to do our part to help out for sure.
Josh Bohr is the general manager at Green Lantern Pizza in Fraser. It's on the same street as the sinkhole and the compromised sewer line.
We're conserving water where we can. We're just trying to preach efficiency.
But even if the 11 communities that use this sewer line do their part, Macomb County still won't be in the clear if the clouds are not.
We're sort of praying to the weather gods right now that we don't get any rain.
Macomb County Drain Commissioner Candace Miller says additional lines that will bypass the clogged area will be up and running in about a month.
During the upcoming months after that is when we'll actually have to fix the sewer and replace it and repair it. So you're looking overall probably 10 months, could be a year.
Fox 2's Randy Wimbley now joins us live with this heartwarming story. Randy.
Yeah, guys, I'll tell you what, this kid knew something was up when he saw us pull up on the street earlier tonight, but he had no idea what we had in store for him. Check it out. Open that door right there for me. And that look says it all. What you got there, Jalil? A good deed is no doubt its own reward, but it's a great feeling when you get something back that you least expected. Such is the case for 11-year-old Jaleel Wirtz. Check you out, man. Check you out, man. How cool is that?
Nice.
Fox 2 photographer Tim Baker stepped on a bottle while shooting some video on Detroit's west side Tuesday afternoon. The glass went through his shoe and sliced his foot open. Jaleel happened to ride by right after it happened.
I was going to go to the Dollar General and just buy me a snack. And then I said, do you need some Band-Aids? And he said, yeah. And then I went to go get him some with the dollar that I had.
But those Band-Aids would cost a lot more. Dollar General did not allow Jaleel to bring his bike inside the store. And some creep stole Jaleel's bike while he shopped for Tim.
It was a grown man. He left his bike. It was like this bike, but it was ragged.
A crook gets an upgrade. A good kid gets a raw deal. Even so, Jaleel kept his word. You gave him the Band-Aids even though you had just lost your bike. Why?
Because I wanted to help him out so his foot wouldn't be that injured.
Selflessness exemplified in an 11-year-old. Needless to say, that struck a chord in the Fox 2 newsroom. So the least we could do was get the kid a new bike. I heard something really bad happened to you while you were doing something really good for one of our guys, right?
Yep.
Yeah. We surprised Jaleel with that new bike, and as excited as he is about it, he's still thinking about Tim.
Tim, I hope your sword feels better, and I hope you have a nice 4th of July.
Now, to our folks back at the station, Jalil says thank you. He loves his new bike. He's going to be riding all over the neighborhood this summer. Huel, Taryn.
Big thank you to Jalil. What a wonderful young man. What a wonderful example of the kind of young people we have in the city of Detroit as well.
That's right. So much character, so much character. Even when his bike was stolen, he's still thinking about our photographer, Tim. And even when we were doing the interview, he wanted to know, hey, is he doing okay? And Tim, he is doing all right. And I'm sure he's doing even better now, seeing that this kid is getting a new bike. And yeah, Jalil, he's really excited about it. So wins all around.
I think we're going to see some great things coming from that young man in the future. Randy, thank you for that wonderful story.
Amen to that.